I'm going to get him on the Nightly News tomorrow night. I'll host the Nightly News tomorrow night. Nomi Prinz, former managing director, Goldman Sachs, is getting into town today. She'll be here in studio tomorrow and on the Nightly News. But I'll be able to really flesh this out and really drill into Adam Kokesh's plan, as he's calling it. I mean, it's an uphill battle just trying to get the Republic re-uploaded. And I believe that the globalists would take over states just as easy. But we'll discuss that tomorrow. I'm going to go to your phone calls here in just a moment. First off, I'll tell you about a few of the great sponsors that make this broadcast possible. InfidelBodyArmor.com. That's one word. Stops hundreds of rounds from AK-47, M4, 30-06, 308, and more. Chromatic armor stops only 6 rounds. But what about the 7th? Fits sizes medium to XXL. Rated to level 3 body armor. You can give them a call, 888-608-6605. The longest-lasting body armor is now cheaper than most ammo for the first time. InfidelBodyArmor.com. Or give them a call. They'll send you a free catalog, 888-608-6605. InfidelBodyArmor.com. And continuing, eFoodsDirect.com/Alex only is running this to the 10th, and then it will be over. They've never offered buy 3, get 1 free and free shipping. Free shipping on sortable food, folks, is one of the biggest discounts you can get. Unprecedented. eFoodsDirect.com/Alex to find that special, or 800-409-5633. 800-409-5633. So it is very, very, very important that you check that out. eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. A giant selection. Great, folks. Check it out today. Okay, you guys have been holding a while. Let's start going to calls now, and I'll get through all these before I get to some of the other insane news. On Egypt, I haven't covered yet, and latest on Snowden. Russia's like, leave, go to Venezuela. It's your last chance. Go. We do not want to sit here and, you know, let them grandstand. We already know the NSA listens to everything. We listen to everything. We're criminals too. Leave. Jason in Texas, you're on the air. Then we'll go to Ryan and others. And John, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Listen, I just called in to tell a little story, and not to flatter you, but to let your listeners know what I witnessed in your character this weekend. How you took the time with those white little-haired old ladies, and you took pictures. You were very giving of yourself. I just thought that was a really good way you presented yourself, which is different than what people see on the TV and the radio. So, and also Chuck Baldwin, I don't know if you saw his sermon this weekend, he gave a shout-out to you. And the reason that people need to hear this is because I've been researching this conspiracy stuff and listening to a bunch of these radio talk show hosts, and some of them have disparaging things to say, and I say, phooey on them. I saw Christ in your actions this weekend. I say amen to that. And let me tell you something about the Georgia State Patrol.
Sure.
Okay, listen, some guy that goes to my church, or he's a state patrolman. He just became a state patrolman, a little young guy. And the cockiness, the arrogance, the way he struts around that church, it makes me sick.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Yeah. I mean, I grew up around a whole bunch of World War II vets that were all highly decorated. They were super meek, nice people. I grew up around people that were, you know, top boxers. They didn't act like they were tough guys. And stay there. I want to come back and hear about this because they are instilling this arrogance, and they're hiring like crazy Barney Fifes, basically, on steroids. And we don't need Barney Fife, folks, in a SWAT team uniform. We need Andy. That's what we need. We'll be right back in 70 seconds. Stay there, Jason.
Now you can watch Alex Jones live at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
You can also browse the network, the Infowars Nightly News,
and over 60 movies and documentaries all together in one place.
You can watch the Alex Jones radio show live as it happened.
So check it out, Infowars.com/show.
I have got a heaping helping of key news coming up on a host of issues, but let's go right back to your calls. Jason was talking about somebody he knows that just became a Georgia State trooper, And man, I mean, I tell you, I don't see this with all the cops, but I'm seeing more of it, where they're either like look like criminal types with the shaved heads and tattoos. And I'm not saying tattoos are bad, but you know what I mean. That type, bugging their eyes out like they want to get in a fight with you. Or they're strutting around like Barney Fife, but on steroids and real aggressive. I mean, all over the country, they pull you over and with no warrant shove their hands in your wife's body. I mean, I don't think I can put up with that. I mean, it's just the government has gone crazy. And I think that's why I was listening to talk radio yesterday before my own Sunday show and heard at least 10 callers when the talk show host was basically defending police coming to your house now saying, we need to commandeer your home. Not like there's a hostage situation next door. You could say extenuating, emergency. It's we just want to surveil your neighbor, let us, and then arresting and roughing them up because they said no. I mean, it's just getting more and more pushy, more and more lock everything down, control everything, where you're the new royalty. That's how royalty happens. Somebody in, the ancient times got a bunch of armed people together and they took over and said everybody had to kiss their butt. I don't want to live under that. I want to live in a free country. But Jason, finish your story, and then we'll go to Ryan and George. I appreciate everybody holding. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, the bottom line is this. You just got a young 20-something-year-old kid who's being pumped up with this propaganda, and he actually believes it. And he just, it's like you said this weekend, I can't be mad at him. I'm sad for him. It hurts. He thinks he's serving Christ, and he's not.
Well, I mean, I'd done a lot of things when I was 22, 23, 20. I was already on the air, but I'd had a pretty wild, seen a lot of things. But I would still be, I would be nervous, even if I was a good guy and it was a public safety issue, to be pulling people over and writing tickets and deal. I mean, I get why they've got to get control freaks to do it, because I wouldn't want to do that. But, I mean, the way that, they pull you over and you weren't speeding and they want to search your car and you look and the guy even knows who you are and knows you're not, and then the government is shipping the drugs in and you're being cased basically by the state police. And to see the conversion, everybody sees this. And the good news is I see people waking up. Did you say anything to him when he was strutting around?
Of course not. I mean, I just sat there and observed it, and it sickened me. And,
Well, listen, all the time, I'll go to different churches and stuff, and they'll have police there as security, a lot of these churches, and, I'll see the cops. They know who I am, obviously. They're staring at me. And then they'll just have this wide open look like they're reading me, not like they're just looking at me. And I'll turn and just be like, hey, how's it going? But it's like at a certain point, I don't like being looked at like I've done something. It's kind of like, what are you looking at, man? I mean, what is this? I mean, if it was a plainclothes person on the street, I would think it was a gang member or something. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand completely. Listen, let me say one thing. I'll let you go. I come across a preacher here in Houston. His name is Vody Balcom. He's a black guy. He's a Southern Baptist, one of the few good ones. But he actually has a big, long article why he supports Ron Paul. And so that he may be one of the only Southern Baptist preachers that I've come across that support Ron Paul. So anybody out there in Houston need to check him out, Vody Balcom.
What's his name again? How do you spell it?
Voddie Balcom, Baucham.
No, that is good. They've bought off the Southern Baptists. They're calling for us to turn our guns in, and next abortion's going to be good as long as you slice the child up properly. Absolutely amazing to see what they're turning into.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Good to hear from you. Yeah, it's a nightmare when you've got all this type of garbage going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back straight ahead with Ryan and then George. Well, John's up next, and then Bill, 800-259-9231. Nobody can say they should be bored right now. You've got front row seats to the New World Order and everything that comes with it. Get geared up and fight it, or kneel and become slaves. Because there's a war on for your mind. That has been our motto here at InfoWars for my 18 years of battle against the globalist. And now we see the open announcements of global, private, corporate tyranny over our governments. That's what the New World Order is. It's an unaccountable private combine of organized crime engaged in corporate takeovers of nation states. And the conscious attempt to abolish basic rights and fundamental liberties. Infowars.com is not just leading the charge against this here in the U.S. or North America. We are leading the charge worldwide. And that's because our listeners, our viewers, our supporters, fellow freedom lovers like you across the planet resonate with our message of liberty and telling it like it is. And that's why for the last 2 years especially, I have thrown everything I've got, my time, my energy, our backup capital, everything into really trying to awaken the sleeping giant that is humanity. And that's why the July issue that just came in a few days ago is so important. We've already sold about half the stock we have of it at cost in groups of 10 up to 100 in bulk. It covers the entire NSA spy grid, how it ties in worldwide, how it's not about stopping terrorists, but about suppressing and dominating and controlling the free press and political opposition. And in this magazine, we don't just have 3 free bumper stickers like I did a few months ago. We have 10 bumper stickers, 4 full-size ones with amazing messages guaranteed to get people thinking like America has been occupied by globalist forces. Infowars.com. Listen to Alex Jones at Infowars.com. Infowars.com. Forbidden information. Listen to Alex Jones. Infowars.com. And then on top of it, 6 medium-sized bumper stickers with the message as well. These are key to post in legal and lawful areas on your book bag, your computer, your car, or to give friends and family. I have printed 500,000 of these bumper stickers. Only half of this month's run of magazines has them. So when you purchase them in bulk or you're a 12-month subscriber, you will get the special issue. And I can't afford to do this every month, so it's going to be quite a while until we do this again. Please take advantage of this. Buy them in bulk and give them to your friends and family and encourage them to get these bumper stickers out, because with 500,000 stickers, we can reach tens of millions of people with the message of truth. They want to collectivize us. They want to bankrupt us. They want to drive us into their arms to control us. They want to dumb us down. But the sleeping giant that is free humanity is awakening. So I want to thank you all for your support. I want to encourage everybody to go to InfoWarsStore.com and to get a 12-month subscription or to give a gift subscription. Imagine 12 of these coming to your friends or family's door to wake them up. Or to give a gift subscription to the local police department or your local congressman or woman. This is how we're going to affect change, voting with our dollars and voting with our time. Again, visit InfoWarsStore.com today to subscribe, to get the magazine in bulk, or to give a gift subscription, or to give yourself a subscription to wake up friends and family. I am all in. I am committed 110% to not mince words and to not back off and to boldly confront the globalist. And our listeners and supporters, our info warriors who aren't behind us, they're right beside us. So I want to thank all of you that have supported us in the past, and I want to encourage all of you out there who may be on the fence, that know this information is true, but have been scared to take action. You had better be scared of not taking action and letting this monstrous system come to fruition. Now is the time to commit. Now is the time to say which side of history you're on. Now is the time to stand against the globalist and the New World Order. And regardless of whether you get this July issue, this July 4th Resistance to Tyrants issue, spread the word about liberty, resist corruption in your area. Millions of us doing little things can move mountains together. I'm Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com and the Infowars team. We're going right back to your phone calls. Then we're going to cover some of the breaking news at Infowars.com. Obama supporters sign petition to repeal the Bill of Rights. Yeah, point blank asked. This is not a joke. This is not even edited. I mean, they edit out the spaces, but this is how they answered. The vast majority banned the Bill of Rights for Obama. You could say, again, jump off a cliff for Obama, and they would say yes. Ron Paul set to launch new Freedom Media Network. Turn off your TV. Turn on the truth. Great catchphrase. I actually have a similar one coming out about kill your television set, but or kill the dinosaur media by withdrawing your support. But introduce your children to Shizo, the transgender superhero. That's right. Confuse your children's gender, and if the chemicals don't do it, that will. Possible Egyptian interim prime minister is a globalist operative. Threats to riot, loot if Zimmerman found innocent intensify. You got to go read these tweets on Infowars.com and ask why a kid from south of Austin on a video game chat was going, oh, yeah, I'm going to shoot people, like joking when they were calling him names. He's getting 6 months in jail, but if you say you're going to organize and burn and kill and murder and you're liberal, that means authoritarian, then it's okay. TSA conducted pat-downs of family members of plane crash victims. That's right. No one can be trusted. We must put our hands on you. And Ron Paul has a new article, New Egyptian War, America loses again, but the globalists win. And massacre in Egypt, dozens of Morrissey supporters killed. And you know, we cover that when Morrissey people are being killed. We covered it. But when it's Al-Qaeda killing people over there for no reason, our media will not pick it up, but we've been covering it. Because that's the group our government is supporting. Absolutely, absolutely outrageous. Let's go ahead and talk to Ryan in Wisconsin. Thanks for holding. Ryan, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I was just wanted to comment real quick on, well, Mr. Gokash. I think he's directly of the target, so to speak. I think, yeah, he has, it's troublesome, I suppose. I mean, if things were to ignite, they would definitely try to use that against the movement as far as gun control and the rights to bear arms. But, you know, it's like Gerald Celenti's always said, 20% of the people, they come together. That's all we realistically need in order to make things happen. 20% of the American people. And, you know, I think that a lot of the liberal side, unfortunately, I live in Madison, Wisconsin right now, and I'm actually from Colorado, so I'm very familiar with liberal ideology. I speak with a lot of people that have that kind of academia mindset. And, yeah, they think they're right on pretty much every level. But when it comes to guns, and, you know, they all seem to have that same idea or understanding that it's just not worth it to have guns and go to that length. And they don't quite understand. They're not putting the pieces together. But I think liberals have had a lot of traction in the political arena longer than the conservatives have as far as being active in politics. So I think what would be great to see if Adam Kokesh could grab a lot of these, and he does appear, at least on the surface, to be a lot like, or he could easily grab a lot of those liberal thinking minds and pull them down into where we're at.
Well, I mean, here's the issue. I don't think Adam Kokesh is a bad guy. I think he's interesting. I think he's smart. But he was phrasing it in the interview earlier like, Alex, I don't know if you could speak for everybody and say that you want the revolution to be a restoration of our republic. What we need is the states to be by themselves. And it's like, that's not even what I'm saying. I'm giving my view that I think that's what we should do. And really, Adam is kind of putting out his idea of leadership. And then classically, and I guess he did do psych warfare in the Marines, turning it around like I'm the one saying I'm the leader. I mean, that's fine. He handles it all deftly. He goes and does these PR events. And then I'm getting him on about one thing, about what he did down there, and he confirmed he did do it. And then it turns into his idea for next year, which is fine. I'd have him on to promote ideas. I mean, I think we should all promote July 4th marches about whatever issue it is that you're concerned with. So I'm not criticizing Adam. I'm just aware of what he's doing when he's on air. I don't sit here and really come up with a plan of what I'm going to say. I know the info. I've done the research. And it's really just from my heart. And my gut tells me that we're not going to get, and that I'm not even sure I want, a total end to the federal government at this stage of human development. Because there's all these other big governments that will come in and take us over. That's the necessary evil of some government our founders believed in 237 years ago or 236 years ago. Now, do we really think we know more than men that actually want a revolution a good revolution, one of the few times in history, and beat the greatest empire the planet had ever seen, and put everything on the line, and actually executed it for 7.5 years, and did it, and then built the country that became the freest and the wealthiest the world's ever seen, and now has been infested by criminals because we were the shining city on the hill. And I'm telling you, I've actually read the writings of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Paine, all of them. In fact, we got a quote up on Infowars.com by one of the founders up there about government. And it's the means of defense against foreign danger historically have become the instruments of tyranny at home. That was James Madison. So I get Adam's point about if you build some, huge, giant, overreaching, overarching thing to defend against a great enemy overseas, the domestic system you set up for it will just become what it was originally fighting. And that's the nature of power. That's why the police are getting more and more imperious, more and more arrogant, more and more power grabbing. It's a revolt of the bureaucrats, the judges, the power structure, as they get bigger pensions and as they get bigger raises and as they get more power and as they all get together in kind of a mafia psychology and hype each other up that what they're doing is okay. So I fully understand it. And I understand the dangers, though, in trying to be transported directly to some libertarian heaven, some anarchic capitalist Valhalla up there with Thor and Odin and the Tree of Life and Ragnarok and Guder Damarong. I just don't see that happening. I'm trying to desperately beat them getting all our guns. I'm trying to desperately beat them kidnapping people's kids en masse. I mean, look, I want Adam Kokesh to talk about fluoride in the water and I mean, if somebody called for a revolution to go start arresting these health department people with the proof, bring it to the grand juries when they do nothing, then take action, that, hey, they're giving people cancer viruses in these particular shots, here's the proof. Or, hey, we need to start, suing, and then if that doesn't work, whatever, to stop them putting fluoride in the water, which they know is killing us. See, but, oh, you don't cover that. That's what the kooky right-wingers talk about. I mean, this is so much bigger, folks, and incredibly complex, and I eat, drink, and sleep the research of this, but I appreciate your call, Ryan. And so I'm mainly allowed musing here, musing aloud about this. It's just, he's like, let's get rid of the Fed. It's not even the Fed. It's like the movie The Thing from the 1980s, where it looks like the federal government. It doesn't really. I mean, it looks like Nazi Germany. It looks like Soviet Russia. It looks exactly like what it is, a big, fat, out-of-control tyranny gearing up for all-out takeover against us in a design collapse. I mean, it's bad. And so my point is there isn't even a federal government. I mean, you get this thing out of here. Get the national security state of 1947, when the private banks and the Skull and Bones group on record were able to set up the National Security Act, where they get all the money, all the secrecy, license to kill, whatever they want. I say that's illegitimate. I say they've robbed us blind. I say, being given the keys to the kingdom, they abuse the hell out of this place. And, of course, they have. I mean, it's totally illegitimate. It's a giant fraud. Let's go to John in New York. Thanks for holding, John. You're on the air.
Taking my call, I have an important comment to say. I went to my local library to check Mark Dice's, if they have Mark Dice's book, The Resistance Manifesto. They didn't have it, so I checked this website called worldscat.org. Are you familiar with that site?
No.
Well, with this site, you could type in any book, periodical, DVD, and they will tell you all the libraries in the world which has that certain book. So I typed in The Resistance Manifesto by Mark Dice, and I found only 7 libraries in the country has this, that book.
Absolutely. I've said this 100 times, and I'll hold you over to finish your point. We're going to break. But everyone should give let me grab it, monthly, yearly, 12 big color glossy magazine periodicals to your library. 12 of these will then be mailed to the library, and people will end up reading them. And especially the bumper sticker issue. If you were to do this right now, your local library would get this. Donate my films to the local library. Donate books to the local library. After you've read a book, go and donate it, and it will, like a message in the bottle, go out and reach people. But absolutely, I am familiar with those database sites. Look, I, do things like stick bumper stickers on my own property. I do things like talk to people at grocery stores. I don't just sit up here and do it on air. The real way to win this is to have you go out and reach out to people. Stay with us. We'll come right back to John.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
All right, folks, Alex Jones of Infowars.com back here live. Let's go right back to John, who got cut off by the break. Let me guess, I stole your thunder. The idea is people need to put libertarian, patriot, anti-New World Order type material in the libraries. But I like my day even more of giving people a gift subscription, a yearly subscription to InfoWars magazine. The shipping's included. It's a one-time deal. 12 of these will be delivered. Give it to the police department. Give it to the library. Give it to your state rep. And then they will get 12 of these into their office. And you have no idea how those messages in a bottle will affect things. But go ahead, John, make your point.
Yes, and one of those 7 libraries which does have the book, and you can see it on the screen, is the Library of the Federal Bureau of Investigation Academy. So isn't that kind of like spooky or creepy to see right up there on the World's Cap that the FBI is like spying on us?
If you talk about liberty, you're evil.
Yeah.
So what was the rest of your point?
Yeah, so it's kind of spooky. When I typed in worldscats.org, the Resistance Manifesto, one of those 7 libraries which does have the book is the FBI Academy. So it's kind of like creepy to like see the evidence right there up on the screen.
Oh, see, I thought I was stealing your thunder about we should put books in libraries, and now it was about something completely different. Sometimes I go off half-cocked, but I think that's good. I think they should know the truth. That's a good book that Mark wrote. And I think it's, we should all donate to the local FBI a yearly subscription to InfoWars magazine, because we're not hiding. We haven't done anything wrong. We have a government that's completely out of control, totally illegitimate, that has been hijacked. Good to hear from you, John. And again, you can get the July issue that has 10 bumper stickers in it at cost in groups of 10 magazines up to 100 in bulk to give to friends and family, or to leave in different public places, or to give to your preacher. I mean, it's limitless. Or you can get a yearly subscription. And this current issue has 4 big bumper stickers, 6 medium size, that say, listen to Alex Jones, Infowars.com. And it has the @ symbol. Listen to Alex Jones at Infowars.com. There's 2 of those. There's another that says Infowars.com, forbidden information. And my favorite, America has been occupied by globalist forces, Infowars.com. And then 6 medium-size Infowars.com. The average bumper sticker gets seen by thousands of people. It results in hundreds of visits to the site. Imagine what you can do posting these in legal and lawful areas. Because the last thing you want to do is post these in public, like the Founding Fathers did with committees of correspondence, putting up posters everywhere about redcoat tyranny. You don't want to be like the Founding Fathers, okay? Or the French Resistance. Seriously, though, don't put them on private property, folks, because I don't want to violate that and then let the media make a big deal out of it. So put them in legal and lawful areas and pass them out to friends. George, thank you for calling in. George from Connecticut, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. I have 2 suggestions. I appreciate your rant on fluoride and inoculations. I'm wondering if we could find a date somewhere that would be appropriate, whether it's a health week or something like that, and sort of get all of the people that are also against that, liberal and conservatives. I mean, the Health Ranger did something with Gary Knoll on the seeds, but Gary Knoll is one of those guys on the East Coast in New York with PRN, one of the largest liberal stations and online things like that. That's always trying to go to legislators and. Well,
no, that's the issue. I want to be clear. You've got real liberals, like Thomas Jefferson was a real liberal, who really are for freedom and good food and health and community, and who want a safety net and who want to help people. The problem is the system always ends up using that towards bad. Just like mainline right-wingers wants security, but then that gets turned into a police state. And so when I talk about liberals, I mean the authoritarian know-it-alls that liberals are Obama supporters sign petition to ban and repeal Bill of Rights. I mean, there's current video. They would call themselves liberals. These are whacked out screwballs, basically, and they are multiplying everywhere. And so I agree. We should have a march against poison in our environment and focus it in on all the additives and the chemicals and the real. We should have a march for real environmental awareness, where real environmentalists march, not about some pie-in-the-sky scam for carbon taxes to make Al Gore money, but march for real environmental issues.
Yeah, what I'm trying to get at is if we could get all the big casters are against us, also savages against this, if we could all focus in on, if we could focus on some sort of date and get everybody to focus on it, then the national media could not ignore it. It would
all right, well, I want to hear your ideas. Stay there. I'm going to come back to you, George. I want to let you flesh that out. It's very important. We should do it. I mean, Kokesh, mainly through this show, promoted his 50-state march. The mainstream media demonized it, helped magnify it, and look, it happened. And it just shows how the alternative media has major platforms now. So I think that's a great idea. Savage is against GMO because he's smart.
The important thing about the Pro 1 filter today is that the material we use for removing fluoride and other heavy metals now will remove the latest form of fluoride called hydrofluorosilicic acid. There's no other fluoride reduction filter out there that will remove that type of fluoride. And it's extremely important because today we're hearing more and more cities are using that form of fluoride.
We've been having medication forced on us through the water system for quite a while. Most people don't realize it. Most people don't realize the negative effects of fluoride.
There's a wide range of health effects that are attributed to fluoride.
Bottom line, why should somebody get this new Pro 1 ProPure filter?
The reason to buy the Pro 1, it's an all-in-one filter. It's convenient, easy to use. It doesn't require the add-on fluoride filter. And in addition, this filter removes the latest form of fluoride called hydrofluorosilicic acid.
Okay, going back to George in Connecticut, and I'm going to hit some other calls and get back into some top stories from the Zimmerman case. Congressman says IRS scandal will widen to leaks. 101 million Americans now on food welfare. That is just some of what is coming up. I haven't really hit yet. But going back to George. George, I mean, what would you call the rally? When would you set the date? What would you do? Go ahead, George. We held you over. I see you're still there on hold, so you could complete what you had to say. That happens sometimes with our callers. I don't know. I say, hey, we're going to hold you over, and they almost never stay on so we can hear what they have to say. I mean, I guess you're asking me, George, what we should do. And I don't really like to think of myself as the overt out front leader. I could easily have big events all over the country. I could easily, have a second American Revolution tour and then inculcate, what revolution really means, a peaceful revolution, and have other speakers attend it. And I've actually thought about doing that. In fact, as soon as I finish Obama Deception 2, I might do like a tour, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know, cities. It's just that so much goes into that that I have to think, is it better just to sit here and do the radio show and make films that reach millions instead of going around and having thousands of people come out, make money to be able to fund the operation? If we charge to get in, you pretty much have to everywhere, pay for the venue, and then have the media notice you've got 10,000 people out so that people go, ooh, he has a lot of listeners. I mean, it really is only good for propaganda purposes to make InfoWars look big and to make InfoWars look powerful. That's like I've had all these New York publishing companies, the biggest, offer me ghostwritten deals. They put a book out every 6 months. And I just haven't done it because I'd have to promote the book, do it, and then it wouldn't even reach that many people. But it's prestigious to be at Barnes & Noble. And I just haven't done it. But the argument is, if I don't put myself out there as the leader, other people will do it. People that have criticized Ron Paul and criticized Oath Keepers and criticized libertarians and criticized constitutionalists now even wear military-style shirts on air and say that they are the leader. And as long as they don't backstab us, okay, you want to be the leader? If people think you're the leader, go be the leader. The problem is I still see that the person is making themselves the leader so they can drag a large double-edged knife across our throat more properly. But I mean, I see where Glenn Beck is giving speeches now, and it's like with Stuart Rhodes and with other, pretty hardcore patriot people. And so I'm like, well, that's a good sign. But again, Beck knows which way the wind's blowing. I don't mean to get off into Glenn Beck, but just as a weather vane, he knows that the libertarian constitutional movement is the fastest growing thing, that now it doesn't work to say Ron Paul supporters should be arrested, the Army should be watching them. That's a quote from 5 years ago. Just look it up. And he made many similar comments then. Now he only goes after me because he sees me as a rival to be knocked off. So he'll take things and take them out of context or make stuff up. And I really just want Glenn Beck to come all the way. I want to be able to trust him because I'm not in competition with him. My goal is to reach more people, period. And I hope that's his goal. My gut tells me that he's super bad news and super sneaky, but people have been actually critical, some of them, that I've not been negative about Glenn Beck. And I just kind of went off into that because that's a model of things that's out there. And the reason is I don't want at the end of the day, if we lose this fight, to have looked back and said, oh, I in-fought with a bunch of people, even if they bait me into it. I just don't care. In fact, it's a good thing when MSNBC and CNN and Fox News had a piece last week saying I'm lying about 2 billion bullets. And the people on YouTube pointed out, well, here's other Fox News reports confirming the 2 billion bullets. I mean, they're coming after me, folks, from every angle. And I see that as a really good thing. But I want to believe there's other good people out there that want freedom who are in the conservative libertarian movement. I know drudgereport.com is good. I know those are people that care about freedom and aren't just opportunistic. Michael Savage gets better and better. We were just talking about Michael Savage being anti-GMO. Well, he's got a university mainline doctorates in nutrition and botany, folks, from real universities. He really is a doctor of, botany. So, I mean, he knows, okay, these main GMO crops grow their own pesticide and kill bugs that eat it. And then that's safe for us to eat. And the lawyers that got it all approved, the BT corn, the BT this and that, are Monsanto lawyers. And Archer Daniels Midland GMO lawyers. And, wow, this is a really bad idea. And, the studies, it's killing the lab animals. That's my point, is that, did you hear me earlier tell you that all over the world, you can look this up, they're still giving people from the batches of polio vaccine made in the 50s and 60s, they rebatch that over and over again. They grow from that stock that's filled with a whole bunch of deadly communicable viruses that give you cancer. I mean, that's an absolute fact. And they're giving it to people here in America. I don't have time to fight with Rachel Maddow and Glenn Beck and Newsbusters and all these other people. Man, I do not have time for this stuff. Every time I get in an infight with somebody, I get ashamed later when I think about what I did. Do people get it? Do you get how real this is, okay? Do you get that aspartame that's in 10,000 plus products will give you macular degeneration of your nerve tissues in your eyeballs? It's not a joke going blind. Do you understand they're killing us? I said I'd go to your calls in the news. It's just like, what is the point? It's almost like bad to even come do a radio show and joke around and have ads and, okay, let's go back to the news now. Oh, let's look at the Zimmerman thing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, while I know all over the country they're sterilizing people against their wills in prison. Or parents have their kids taken and they're sterilized. And people go, well, there are too many poor people. That's not the plan. They're setting the precedent to make everybody poor and dumb, and they just want to be able to get away with sterilizing you when they want to have that sadistic power. I covered that earlier. You know, the LA TV stations are reporting that they're against people's wills. People that are in jail for DWI, they go and they chain you down and they cut your tubes. Of course they do. I mean, they stick their hands in your body in Texas when they pull you over now, all over the place. I pulled you over for speed and get up against the car. And not only do they assault you that way, they wear the same glove on multiple people. I mean, it is just, but she blew bubbles at the demonstration and one touched me. You're charged with felony assault. You attacked me with, the cops even sit around and go, what do we call it with the grand jury? You call it detergent. You say that she threw detergent in your eyes, the detergent acid. We might even be able to get 10 years on this woman who was blowing bubbles at a park and hit me in the eye. It's like, I want to do whatever I want. You ain't going to stop nothing. I mean, it's just evil is rising. And it came out in Texas, but other parts of the country, the juvenile thing with the little kids in CPS, not just, 10, 12, 13, where they would have the judges and the police in these big rape parties of the little kids. And the Texas Rangers tried to stop it, and they all just got in trouble, and they were removed the head of the DPS because he was allowing them to investigate it. I mean, that's who runs Texas, a bunch of child molesters. That's who runs your state, and that's who runs your country, and that's who is infesting the BBC. And you just got to grow up and realize it. These people aren't going to stop till we stop them. Why do they like to give little kids cancer? Because they like killing people. They're not trying to reduce population. They give you an engineered virus that will kill you when your hormone levels go down around retirement, and then they'll suck every bit of money you've shaved out with the chemotherapy and the radiation and the surgeries. It's all been planned. It's all been actuaried. It's all done on purpose. Bayer had plans to give people HIV and hepatitis, and then even had a plan to roll out treatments for that in the countries where they were giving people the HIV and the hepatitis. Look it up. They're not playing games. They're systematic murder teams. And of course they've got idiots out there doing proctology exams on the side of the highway. They're going to do whatever they want. And then the New York Times, because Bayer made the decision to put their riskier Factor 8 overseas, they call it riskier. See, that's how they spin it, too. It was riskier that we took Factor 8 product that had HIV in every ampule of it and 3 types of hepatitis, and then dumped it on the third world and on Europe and on Australia, giving conservatively hundreds of thousands of people death sentences. And it's just it's just an oversight, folks. Do you know about Bayer Pharmaceuticals? Do you know about Eli Lilly? Do you know about any of these companies? Do you know who these people are? You might want to find out who they are. And if you're a cop who's been told, we're now going to do cavity searches on the side of the highway, we don't need no warrants no more, you better ask yourself why you've been given all this illegal power. All right, I'm going to shut up. Who was I talking to? Bill in California. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Can you hear me there?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Great. What do you want first, the good, the bad, or the doable?
I want it all.
Okay, the good is that we're seeing ammunition show up at the big wholesalers. We're getting some 7.62 by 39, fairly affordable. We're getting some 223s. The price is still too high. 22s are hard to come by. All they have is Ely, and I think that's a British firm. But anyway, that's the good.
You know why they got to import most of the bullets now, especially lead-based? They won't allow lead mines to operate in the U.S. We're under industrial sabotage. Go ahead.
Yeah. The bad is that we're coming close to a showdown, and we really don't want to have our people slaughtered. There's a couple of good books and some people you might want to get on. The guy who calls himself Max Velocity has a little trainer on small unit tactics called Contact, and it's one that I read carefully before Adam's March.
But most of these small unit stuff I see is like out in the wilderness battling people. I mean, the real Contact, if it's ever went to a civil war, is you walk in a globalist bar and take everybody out. I'm not saying people should do that, but I mean, a lot of these video games are teaching people, and I'm not, Max Velocity's been on the show before with one of our other hosts, but I'm not saying his stuff's bad. I haven't really followed it. But so much of what I see is like we're going to be out in the woods battling the New World Order. You don't wait to go find some army in the woods, folks. If this thing goes to hell in a handbasket, you go out and you find them. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the main thing that we're thinking of is defending ourselves, and you don't want to...
No, I hear you, but if they start coming after people, you know how to defend yourself. The best defense is a vicious, unending offense.
Well, okay, we have another good book out there by a guy who calls himself Joe Nobody, which is the homeschooled shootist, which covers the basics of shooting, internal, external ballistics, the kind of things that everybody needs to know. And if you read these things and then consider yourself and your ability, you'll say, I'm too old, too fat, too slow, I can't do this. In that case, pass the book on to a younger poet. So that's the bad. And now the doable. In California here, we have recall procedures, and many states have formal recall procedures. And we need to have a watch on the state capitol and anybody who steps over the line, and of course in California that's almost everybody. We go after them on a recall. These politicians have got their whole career planned around the, term limits. And as such, they've got their war chest all up. But if you deplete their war chest on a recall, you can knock them out of politics. We did that to Roberti, who pushed through an anti-gun bill. We were able, just using the Internet, to collect enough signatures to force him to a recall election.
No, I hear you. A lot of times if you just start a recall and get your first few thousand signatures and get people to support you, it'll become a news issue, and just that heat will make the politician turn tail and run. Now what's the good news? I got to go to other people, brother.
Well, the good news is we do this without the media. We have to do this on the Internet. We need to get a bunch of people in each state ready to go, and so that they can distribute petitions right locally without touching the Internet, without touching the media.
Absolutely. We are the media. God bless you, sir. A lot of great points you made. Theo in Wisconsin, you're on the air. Welcome.
Oh, I'm afraid that the Patriot Minuteman militia will be quite operational by the time your New World Order robot armies arrive.
Oh, I love that twist on Palpatine. Good job. I'm afraid we're aware of your New World Order plan. You're not going to operate in the dark when you execute this. I'm afraid we're gaining the initiative. I love it.
That's the biggest thing that we have to do now, is not be called conspiracy theorists. We are conspiracy factists. If people want to put their head in the sand and ignore documented
No, that's right. We've won. We should be arrogant about it. We should be imperious, and not even so much in that way, but like if a dam broke 20 miles down and you're the sheriff saying, get to high ground, hit to high ground, you don't say it sheepishly. We're in command. There is a new world order. We know what happened. We understand what's going on. We're the Americans that were informed. We're the good guys. Now, everybody get awake and get beside us. We're going to beat this. I'm going to come back to you, Theo. Stay there. I always go to calls too late in the segment. Our viewers have demanded it, so now you're gonna get it. More pro-Second Amendment gun shows in the month of June.
What we've learned is you cannot hide behind an I-beam when there's a 50 cal present.
Brothers in Arms, 50 cal ammo review, and more. Coming in the month of June to the InfoWar. Dino Media and the Justice Department have been caught trying to hype up race rioting. If George Zimmerman is found not guilty, and now that the defense is putting on its case, I don't know, when is this thing supposed to be over? I mean, it's just an excuse for people to go around and riot. I mean, are black folks going to riot because so many black people are killing each other? Or you know, vice versa? Are white people supposed to riot if a black person, attacks a white person, even in self-defense? It's just the media trying to create division. That's all that's going on here. And we have an article, threats to riot and loot if Zimmerman found innocent intensify. Well, yeah, they build to fever pitch. And if I made a comment like this, I would be arrested. If I called for rioting and looting and pre-planned criminal activity, that's not protected by the First Amendment. You can't say, hypothetically, let's all meet up and burn down the Capitol if they don't find, this guy guilty, or let's go out and attack some white people. But that shows the political correctness, how the idea is sold that inherently, this is the new civil rights movement, is that all white people are bad. How about all of our civil rights to not be run by foreign offshore banks? How about people in any community protesting against the fluoride in your water? I talk about that so much because it makes me mad that Austin has had scientists and doctors all come here, and medical doctors and top professor toxicologists, and here's this Harvard study, here's this UT study, 20 points in IQ reduction. The feds even say take it out of the water now because they had such a rebellion last year with their own scientists, 90+% of them signing letters and saying this is deadly poison, take it out. Did you know the government even admitted it? Did you know that they've said for 7 years in the Journal of Pediatrics and the American Medical Association, American Dental Association, that children under 6 shouldn't brush with fluoride because it creates dental fluorosis and other problems and bone cancer? But then you go, hey, it's like extra fluoride for kids. It makes me mad. And they know that if we ever get them on that, we get them on everything. But, oh, no, we're just supposed to get mad about George Zimmerman. I mean, quite frankly, if George Zimmerman would have shot him wrongly, but there's reasonable doubt, it's not the end of the world. People shoot each other wrongly all the time. Why is this such a big deal? Because they're invoking racial division. I'll do a little bit of overdrive and go back and finish up with Theo, who wanted to finish up his point that he was making in the last segment. And then we're going to go to Robert and a few others. But just briefly here at the end of the main transmission, if you believe in this broadcast and you want to see this info out to more people, tell your friends and family to tune in at Infowars.com to the free audio feeds. Tell your friends and family to check out your PrisonPlanet.tv membership. 11 people can log in simultaneously with an Infowars Nightly News PrisonPlanet.tv membership. Takes a minute to sign up, $5.95 a month, 11 people. That's 15 cents a day for the entire membership. That's 11 people. So that's about 1 cent and a quarter or so, or 1.50 cents a day per person that just pays for the bandwidth. prisonplanet.tv. My goal is to reach people. Operation Awakening the Sleeping Giant. And all of you that have prisonplanet.tv memberships, make sure you have a username and passcode that's only for the site. And change it if it's not. And then give it to friends and family. Send it in an e-card. And tell them, hey, watch the nightly news tonight. 7 o'clock Central. See all the films. See all the expanded extras. Things that aren't even on YouTube. Use this prisonplanet.tv membership. Operation Awakening the Sleeping Giant. And your financial support by becoming a member also makes this platform possible. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. Go join prisonplanet.tv right now. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?
Listen, brother, I understand why you don't like being thanked, because I've heard you say that. You made the analogy of you're on the barbed wire already, and I know that you are. You and your entire family is in danger on our behalf. And I'm not going to say thank you. I'm going to say I'm going to hop on the barbed wire with you, brother. I'm sick of people saying things and they're not actually doing something about it. Because a real man is supposed to take the children and put them behind him and snarl at the evil enemy that's been destroying us for years and years.
Exactly. We need to take this personal. We've just gotten so comfortable with, oh, you're going to put poison in the water. You're going to inject us with, I mean, it's all on record. Oh, thank you. Oh, we're wearing black uniforms now. Oh, you're tasering us for no reason now. They're gearing up. They're gearing up for total takeover. They've built the FEMA camps. It's in the Army documents.
Absolutely. And I'm just so sick of it. I can't take it anymore. Every day that goes by, my city council won't listen when we're trying to get fluoride taken out. They laugh at us and think that we're stupid when it's actually...
Yeah, I know. You need to file a lawsuit on them. You've got all the studies and the government even saying reduce it from 1.6 parts per million. I always start stuttering when I try to hurry at the end of the show. And cut it down to 0.71 parts per million. And it's just time to get aggressive with these scum. It's all they recognize. God bless you. Let's talk to Greg, listening on KYAH in Utah. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Alex. You know, you can't. I wanted to make the point that you can't just move to a small town and put your head in the sand, because I went out to the health department and spoke with the nurse, and I had all the documentation about, you know, using aborted fetus cells and vaccines, and studies on showing that the mercury causes autism, and on and on and on. And they are so asleep. I mean, this nurse just sat there and defended it like it was still a good thing.
Oh, no, they'll lie to you, most of them, and say there is no mercury in a shot. You show them on the insert, they go, you're an extremist. I mean, they just do whatever they're told.
You know, in this town, a few years ago, they didn't treat the water with anything. It was just right out of the well. Well, as soon as they did, let me tell you something, those hospitals, I mean, the doctor's offices for the next few weeks just filled up with people who were sick.
Well, yeah, you have that first allergic reaction. They're like, the cosmetics make us sick, but it's no big deal. The GMO makes me sick, but I'm going to keep eating it. They take all over this country aquifer water, like Austin, Texas, and they dump, when they call it fluoride, it could be over 300-plus chemicals. That's a cover for every toxic waste. We pay to then drink it. It's a total globalist joke.
I think there's an alternative, I mean, an ulterior motive to fracking, too, because when they're pumping over 500 chemicals down into the ground like that, and it's coming up in people's wells, you know what they're doing. They don't need that many chemicals to break the rocks down there and lubricate them. It's just ridiculous. But I hope we're helping you out on our bandwidth, because we actually have our station on the Internet, too. Hopefully takes a little bit of, you know, if other stations, too, I would suggest, if they do that, you know, get on the Internet, maybe it'll...
Sure, 540 AM out there in your area, and all over the country are affiliates, streamists, and I was talking to our Chicago affiliate, and he said that when they first put me on, they had almost nobody listening to their streams. He said, just my show a month has 30,000 logins and log-offs, and that's not big for my big broadcast, you know, which has hundreds of thousands a day listening to the streams, 600,000 downloading the podcast every day. just that way. But for a station, they're like, wow, we had almost no one listening on the internet. Now it's 30,000 a month that log in and listen to you just over the stream here in Chicago. So that's a big deal. All right, folks, I'm going to do one more segment in Overdrive.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com.
Judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com.
Hey, Obamacare is so outrageous and so criminal that it is in deep trouble, been postponed, the employer mandate for another year. It will wreck this country. That's some good news. The total open borders and giving the illegals free tuition, more free welfare that'll bankrupt the country. No nation does that. That's in deep trouble. No matter how much they say, turn your guns in or you're for murdering children, more and more people aren't buying that. That's backfiring. Even their own statistics show that. They're very upset that, the tear-jerking, that it's racist if you don't want totally open borders. And you won't give people from any foreign country free health care and everything. You're racist. It's the big banks and corporations financing that because they want to have cheap labor here that's subsidized by taxpayers. It's incredible. People are waking up to the screw job. And that's why we need to intensify our efforts, because the globalists are going to try to strike back. But across the board, the New World Order is up to its axles in deep mud like Napoleon or Hitler in Russia as the winter comes, the long winter for the tyrant as humanity across the globe wakes up. Let's go ahead and talk to Robert in Georgia. Welcome.
Hey there, Alex. I know you probably already heard this before, but when you was talking about the Georgia State Patrol and how arrogant they are, they actually refer to themselves as God's special people. They think they have the rights to do anything that they want, and they're actually taught this at their post-training academy before they even get out on the field.
That is so disgusting. I know that more and more they're giving police arrogance training. Now, some departments are going the opposite direction towards trying to be public servants and understanding that's how they get the respect of the people. But yeah, a lot of state police units, because they're really federal state police units set up in the 30s, they don't even know that, are like the paramilitary New World Order crowd. And yeah, no, they're really, well, a caller called in about Georgia State Police. The Texas police will pull you over for a burnout taillight, and by the time they're done, their hand's going to be up your taillight. So, I mean, this is unbelievable. What kind of stuff does your Georgia State Police do, God's special people?
God's special people will pull you over when you stop at a red light, give you a ticket for running the red light, and you hadn't even crossed the line. You hadn't even crossed the line, the white line that you stopped at, just because he's mad at you because you talked to his girlfriend. That's what they do here.
Well, I know in Kentucky, I called the judge. It was in the newspaper. One of our listeners, upstanding member of the community, Kelly Rushing, I've told the story 100 times, he was handing out VHS tapes in like 2002 of Ron Paul's neocon speech and my film Road to Tyranny. And the cop, because he lived near him, the cop waited, pulled him over, bragged, I've got the videotape banded here. And he said, I'm going to charge you with threatening police. I don't like that video. It's anti-police. And the judge was in the paper going, that's right. You don't hand out videos critical of government. This is in the newspaper. I read this on air. And the jury found him not guilty. But, I mean, you talk about... And then I have in Virginia, the state police on video finding a pocket constitution at a warrantless checkpoint. One of our listeners got the videotape, Abby Newman. And the cops start going, is she allowed to have this? I mean, these guys sound like they've got, no exaggeration, 70 IQs. And they're like, I've never seen nothing like it. Look. And it's got George Washington on the cover. I'm not joking. And they're like, people think I'm joking. Go watch the video. I mean, they've sworn an oath to it. And they go, I think we need to take her to jail. This kind of contraband. I didn't believe it. She told us we couldn't search without a warrant. I mean, mean, these people are out of their minds, man. That you mean I can't stick my finger in your butt? I mean, I pulled you over. I'm sorry to talk like that. I never talk like that. That's what they do. I'm going to stick my hand in both areas, and I'm going to get your sister, and I'm going to do it. And if you don't like it, you got to follow my orders. You got to obey my every order. I'm in charge now. I got a taser. I got a gun. I'm going to stick my hand up your butt. I'm sorry. Sir, anything else from Georgia?
Well, yeah. Well, that's what you were talking about. The guy who was videotaping the police officer, and they shot his dog. Then the chief of police comes on and says, well, the way to help this is just comply with what we ask you to do. That's
I agree. I agree. Proctology exams for all of them.
Yeah, just do what the hell we say. You don't have to worry about it. We won't hurt you if you just comply with all the unconstitutional laws.
If you just comply with me. I mean, even on the South Park, they only look inside. Now it's like, TSA, let us show you how this is done. Bin Laden may be hiding in there. Maybe now they'll cut pregnant women open to make sure it's not a bomb in there. I don't want to give them ideas. Listen, we have guillotines to chop the pregnant women in half to make sure this police comply. Police comply. I appreciate your call. I'm sorry, I got to stop right there. See, I can do a lot of imitations, but if I start like really channeling ultra redneck, I am kind of an ultra redneck. So then it just, listen, I can go in an area of rednecks and I can literally just start going, yeah, because the super redneck don't even talk. They just go, yeah. And if I go into an area and they just start bowing down when I do that. Okay, I'm going to stop. Let's talk to Diana in Illinois. I'm sorry, Diana. Go ahead. I think I'm going to join the New World Order. I actually agree with it. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, this is Diana. I'm just calling because first.
Wait a minute. You might be a terrorist. Without a warrant, we need to do a proctology exam, ma'am. You don't have a problem with that, do you, honey?
I don't bend over, so.
Hell no! You will respect an officer. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to note really quick that I contacted Bill O'Reilly to notify him that he should have Jesse Ventura on. That was a segment you had at a later show. But my question is, for people who are unemployed, who are trying to fight the New World Order, if they're pigeonholed into a position that that's all they can get, what are they supposed to do for a means of finances?
What, working for the New World Order?
Right.
They call that killing yourself to live. I would do whatever you can to just try to, even if you slowly inform people and slowly try to be somebody on the inside for good, it will do big things. Like if I was in the Texas State Police and they pull women over for speeding or burnout taillight, and one guy goes, "Get the gloves, we're going to search them." You know, you want to say, well, wait a minute, doesn't she have a Fourth Amendment? I'm going to trick her into complying. And then the next thing is when they say no, they then just taser you. So it's like, now they're having checkpoints under federal funding where they take blood. It's like, pull over, I'm going to take blood. And they don't even tell you it's voluntary. And then it's like, what's wrong with that? What are you hiding in your blood? What's wrong with me sticking a needle in your arm? So, I mean, Diana, I can't tell you what you should do, but how did Bill O'Reilly, the star of Fox News, how did he respond when you emailed his people and said they wanted him to have Ventura on?
I actually didn't email them. I left them a voicemail. So.
Well, how dare you? How dare you? Anything else, ma'am?
That's it for now.
I tell you, I appreciate it. It's almost like a drug when you start acting like that. I mean, I got to be honest with you. This is like, it's fun. Just actually strut around. I'm thinking about getting like a goofy Latin American dictator uniform or something and doing a spoof where I just walk around acting all royal and black boots. And I bet the public starts bowing down. And I'll just walk around like one of those riding crops under my arm. And I'll just strut around going, "Get over here, boy." People just kneel. "Oh, yes, master." Let's go ahead and talk to I'm sorry. Jason in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good right now.
Sounds like it. I was wondering if you'd heard of the video game Watch Dogs.
I hadn't heard of that. Is it pro New World Order?
Sure sounds like it.
Good.
It's set in Chicago.
Let me guess, you're taking on gun owners.
No, you're controlling the central operating system that runs all of Chicago, everyone's cell phones, their homes, everything.
Oh, yeah, you're using the smart grid to run the little scum who aren't part of God's special people.
Sure are.
Good. Good. So tell me about this video game. It's called Watch Dog?
Watch Dogs, yes. They're trying to push it as one of the main games that's coming out for that new PlayStation 4 and the Xbox.
Oh, the one that spies on your house? Well, why not?
Yeah, well, of course.
It ought to be called Scum Dog, Spy Dog, Tyranny Dog.
You guys, I loved your article on the Rainbow Six game, so you guys should look into this because you play Aiden Pierce, and it literally says you are a brilliant hacker and former thug whose criminal past led to a violent family tragedy, and now you seek justice by hacking.
Yeah, no. That's what they're doing. They're hiring all these criminals to work at the NSA, where it's like, now you battle people by planting child porn on them. You used to be a thug, but now you're even worse. Yeah. And next you can give little kids a live polio vaccine. How's that sound? Watch them die. You work for the government now and the Chicago mob boss up there. Look at this, Watch Dog. I see it, yeah. And so you hack in and spy on everybody with the smart meters, right?
Oh, yeah, I was watching the trailer for it. He walks down
it says you work for the government, steal funds, and rob everybody. Yeah, it says right here. No. Yeah, now in the movies, the CIA kills families who are innocent, and it's good. It's like the good guys. It's like, next the police will be like, line your kids up. I'm going to blow their heads off. Officer's discretion. Boom, boom, boom. Hell, Hitler did it. What's wrong with that? Render unto Caesar what's Caesar's. And Caesar says, I'm going to wear the same glove and rape all of yous with it at the checkpoint. Extremists.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.